Tune in to the Metaverse with YGG TV.
Founders Update with Gabby, Dizon. Regional Gaming subDAOs with Andy Chou. On the Radar with Kazuo from Portfolio Operations. Big Time for Game Spotlight. And MetaSports News with Scrawn. Streaming via YouTube, Twitter, Discord, Twitch, and Facebook. Hosted by subDAO.
Hashtag #WeAreYGG.
Hey guys, what's up? It's subDAO here once again for another episode of YGG TV, where we will be giving you the latest news and updates of what's happened in the guild and in the metaverse in the past month. Let's go. So, first off is the YGG Managers Cup, which is the longest running charity tournament in the metaverse, which included 16 of the biggest guilds in the whole ecosystem, and with YGG Elite bagging the championship, together with Levox Esports, AcadArena, Meditate, and all the other guilds who joined for a charitable cause. And of course, with FTX, the YGG Managers Cup was able to raise over $50,000 used to help charities in the Philippines. And we've managed to get an exclusive with one of our charities for the tournament, the Gentle Hands Orphanage in the Philippines. Check this out.
Hey guys, we are here right now at the Gentle Hands Orphanage in the Philippines, which is our main beneficiary for the YGG Managers Cup. So back in 2021, the orphanage, staff, and the children have been affected by the pandemic. This is the reason why we want to help them out. Let's go.
Well, my name is Charity Graff. I'm originally from Canada, and I'm the Executive Director of Child Caring Agency, or an orphanage here in the Philippines. Gentle Hands was started by my parents in the 1980s, and it originally began as a birthing clinic where the poor of the poor were able to give birth free. And in the year 2000, I moved here to work with my parents and ended up realizing that there was a great need for children rescue services and to work with children who didn't have education. And so we changed from a birthing clinic into a child caring home. So it's 2022, that's 22 years later, and we have 165 children at present and 2 locations. We focus on children that are abandoned, children that are called foundlings, so found with no identification, children who have been abused physically or sexually. And so they will come in and we will do trauma-informed care for them. We will do attachment-based care. And you realize that every child that has lost their original family or every child that has been abused in some way has experienced trauma. And so we really focused on studying and learning how we could better provide for those children so that they could heal. And most of our children, because of the circumstances that they've come from, can't be reunified or reintegrated into a family, so they are put through for adoption. I love having a child come in that has experienced things that the world or other people might say that child is never going to be functional, that child has a disability, or that child can never be what that child was created to be. Taking that child and providing proper intervention and seeing that child become a functional individual, I think that's the best thing. I have had blind children, deaf children, children with cerebral palsy. I have seen them placed in families where under normal circumstances, those children would be just left in the institution. I think that we have pushed limits. We certainly have a reputation of pushing the best interest of the child and pushing the rights of the child. We focus on what is best for the child. We want to be the best that we can be, and we want to be the best of the best. We want to make an impact. We want to impact other agencies. We want to impact the government to standardize care for orphans. If I have a goal, it's that all children should have the same thing that children who are in a family have. They should have the same love, the same opportunities, the same value, same rights.
The Managers Cup is a series-long tournament that we created at YGG to initiate the competitive community in Axie Infinity. We involved various teams and guilds, and it's a team format tournament series. The best part about the YGG Managers Cup is that it's all about charity. We're donating a percentage of the proceeds to the Gentle Hands Orphanage located in Manila in the Philippines, and the top 3 winners will decide an individual charity of their choice that they donate the proceeds to. So it's all about making the community better, all about uplifting the community, and it goes very much in line with YGG values. For future tournaments in YGG, definitely I think Managers Cup will be a staple. We want to include that charity feature for sure. We're going to be also looking at different sorts of competitions, engaging different levels of the community, whether that's starting out players, whether that's mid-level semi-pros, or complete professionals who are the best at what they do.
And up next, we've got Yield Guild Games co-founder himself, Gabby, Dizon, giving us some updates on guild metrics and financials for the second quarter. This is the Founders Update.
Hi everyone, it's nice to see all of our guildmates again. Yeah, it's been a very busy quarter. As you know, we've been in a little bit of a bear market, but that's not really stopped us from really advancing the guild in the last 3 months. So first, I'll give an overview of kind of some of the numbers that's happened. So first, we want to highlight scholarships. You hear a lot about, play to earn is dead and there's no scholars anymore. But if you look at the aggregate numbers, we still have over 20,000 scholars under the Yield Guild network. And we have almost the same amount, over 21,000 YGG badge holders. And as we expand on more programs, which some of our team will be talking about later, we expect that to grow. We're now at 6 regional subDAOs, which I'll be talking about in a moment. And we're looking at these regional communities to really expand the reach of YGG around the world and have these communities as local as possible. Okay, some headline numbers on our asset acquisition. So we're now up to 51 game partnerships. We've been very steadily releasing our announcements on different partnerships from Walk-In to My Pet Hooligan and more. And now we've spent over $10 million to acquire assets for 51 game partnerships. We spent $3.5 million for 6 guild partnerships and $2 million for different P2E infrastructure partnerships. And if you look at the value at the end of June, the values may have gone down from the last quarter, but they're still above the initial acquisition cost that we've had for all of them.
So, I'm pretty sure that you guys have heard about all the new YGG subDAOs. And now we've got Andy Chou, YGG's ecosystem developer, to talk about the importance of subDAOs and its impact and the growth of the YGG network. Let's go.
So hi everyone, my name is Andy Chou, and I'm head of ecosystem development for YGG. So I'm mainly responsible for our subDAO expansion strategy and execution, as well as other strategic initiatives for the ecosystem. Before YGG, I was in the corporate and business development team at eBay, both globally and as well as for the Asia Pacific region. working on M&A, investments, managing JVs, and strategic partnerships. And before eBay, I was working at an investment bank in San Francisco, focused on the tech sector. So the question is, what are regional subDAOs and why are they important? What is the dynamic of the regional subDAOs with the main YGG DAO, and how do they work together? So I'll sort of explaining the first part of this, which is why are they important. First, as a recap on what a DAO is, decentralized autonomous organization. It's essentially a group of people united for the same purpose, that forms an autonomous community without a centralized authority making all the decisions. At YGG, we're a gaming guild uniting players from around the world. And one way we are scaling is via introducing subDAOs, which in many ways mirrors some of our activities, but in specific regional contexts. So the goal is to bring benefits of Web3 to everyone, regardless of where they come from. And we recognized early on the need for a more localized approach. And so we started introducing the subDAO concept. This is last year, first with YGGC as our first official subDAO. And the idea is that you need boots on the ground here with people who really understand the nuances of the language, of culture in the region, and just know how to build the community from the ground up. So that's sort of the first part. The second part of this question is, what is the dynamic of the regional subDAOs with the main YGG DAO, and sort of how they work together? So first, I see us as really helping to start the process here from the beginning to get them off the ground and running, especially around knowledge sharing, as many of these activities the subDAO focuses on do mirror our own. We are there to support, but not get in the way with command and control type methods. For example, we help introduce tools to manage the subDAOs. We set up joint meetings to discuss with the different operational teams, as well as starting to hold regular sort of roundtables where we can discuss status updates, challenges, learnings, and solutions. So although subDAOs have their own rules and conditions, they still contribute back to the DAO itself. And in many cases have our NFTs and other assets from the YGG treasury to, as I mentioned, kickstart things to get the subDAO going. And so another way we do work together is on group deal flow and analysis. This is happening across the network and not just with between the main DAO and a particular subDAO. So it could also be from subDAO to subDAO. Lastly, I would say the products on the technology roadmap of YGG, and as well as products on the subDAO roadmaps may be used across the networks now and in the future. So I would say those are the ways sort of how the subDAO and the main DAO and the subDAOs all sort of work together. That having been said, I do think there are a lot more opportunities to build synergies, and this will be a big focus of mine in the coming years. So here I'll talk a little bit about our current and upcoming list of regional subDAOs. At the moment, we have 5 that we've officially announced, and that is YGGC. They're our first regional subDAO that's focused on the Southeast Asia regions, ex-Philippines, and so that's countries like Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. They've already partnered with over 60 play-to-earn games, so a lot of momentum going on there. Base is YGG subDAO for the Brazilian community, and in many ways, a similar thing with a mission to acquire and rent out top assets across different play-to-earn games to local players within the Brazil region. Recently, we just started YGG Japan, and this is our subDAO that will be focused on promoting blockchain gaming across the Japanese community. So, Japan has some of the most well-known gaming IP, and I just think this is a really good chance to explore the possibility of bringing that to Web3 and blockchain-based economies, which is super exciting for me. YGG is our subDAO focused on the Spanish-speaking gamers around the world. So, they're really working on their mission to create a community of play-to-earn gaming enthusiasts from different Hispanic regions, and doing so via local partnerships, asset acquisition, education, and other on-the-ground services. Last but not least, we also set a subDAO in India called YGG, and in many ways similar to the other ones, focus on play-to-earn games in that region and bring Indian gamers into the metaverse and helping maximize their sort of earning opportunities there. So I've talked about sort of the 5 current subDAOs. There are a couple of upcoming ones. These have not been officially announced yet, but and we will have a lot more details to come. But I can say we're in the process of building a few more, which are going to be focused on South Korea, on Central and Eastern Europe, as well as Turkey. So, yep, more to come there. So how do you see our subDAOs in 3 to 5 years? So going back to the North Star, bringing players everywhere into Web3, I see the subDAOs really thriving and growing deep into their particular regions, educating and bringing the benefits of Web3 to users everywhere. I see us expanding to more regions as well, and each of the subDAOs sort of maturing into their own identities and models, as well as producing their own product services that can be used across the ecosystem and perhaps even beyond. I hope to see us and our subDAOs as pioneers in establishing a framework on how we relate to each other from a legal perspective. Our move recently to a Swiss association gives opportunity to incorporate the subDAOs as sub-associations. So by being a sub-association, a subDAO will still enjoy a lot of the significant autonomy, but not require significant legal sort of documentation to relate to YGG. And then lastly, to me, I think leveraging each other's strengths in creating synergies across the main DAO and the subDAOs, working on all kinds of projects together is going to become more and more important in the coming years. And as I mentioned before, it will continue to be a big focus of mine. Everyone, just want to wrap up here. Andy Chou again, head of ecosystem development for YGG. Very happy to have the opportunity to talk to everyone today, and look forward to the next time. Thank you.
Up next, we are going to be checking out YGG partnered games that are going to be released in the very, very near future. So we've got Kazuo from Portfolio Operations to tell us more about what's going on behind the scenes as we prepare for a game time. This is On the Radar.
Hey guys, I'm Kazuo, YGG's Portfolio Operations Manager. I handle everything related to tokens and NFTs for YGG. So that means I'm responsible for ensuring that all of our assets are earning yield and they're in the hands of the right people or teams. Typically, if it's an NFT acquisition, I would hand these assets off to our game ops team, as well as provide them some base level strategy to go off of for earning in whichever game the NFT belongs to. If the assets we're acquiring are tokens, I would work out a strategy for making these tokens as productive as possible, usually through single-sided staking or providing liquidity if the incentives are high enough. So after I hand off assets to the game ops team, the next step is usually to start tracking the income in those games. So YGG does monthly income reports across our whole treasury, but this includes the games that we run operations in. So I'll usually collaborate with game ops to get some of that data and then format it and put it into our reports. But I'm also looking at on-chain data to capture income numbers and also include those in our monthly and quarterly reports. So 3 games that we're really excited for that are launching soon. Well, one of them is already launched. That's Pets. It's really cool, similar to like Pokemon, Digimon, mixed with a little bit of like Pokemon Go in the sense that you walk around in real life and play the game that way. So basically for Pets, you can level up your monster through your steps in real life by converting what they call energy into experience. and there's also some form of battling coming up. In addition to that, you can own your own land in the game where you can craft consumables and invite other people to come on your land to craft items and collaborate with you. For Genopets, we own Genesis habitats as well as governance tokens. So the habitats allow us to offer scholarships to other players. Without owning a habitat or having access to a habitat, a player can't convert their steps into tokens. So by us owning these and letting people rent them from us, we actually provide the ability to earn tokens through just walking outside. Another game we're excited about, which hasn't launched yet, is Metalcore. This game has a super stacked team of people from Blizzard. One of the devs is like the former lead developer for World of Warcraft, which I thought was just super cool. This is kind of like a mech game, mech shooter, where you can be on foot as a foot soldier with a gun, or you can man a mech and go out on the battlefield and destroy people. So I'm always a fan of that. In Metalcore, we own infantry NFTs. These are the Genesis NFTs in the game. So these give access to private Discord channels, as well as access to alpha builds of the game. As YGG, we like to get into these early versions of games we're partnered with to provide valuable feedback, testing, bug discovery, which we will then give back to the founders and they can improve the game. So we like to, whatever game we're a part of, we like to kind of contribute value in a way that would, improve quality at launch. So My Pet Hooligan is another game we're really excited about launching soon. This is similar to Metalcore, has a team of individuals from the likes of Pixar and a bunch of other really notable studios. They're experimenting a lot with facial tracking and getting your actual real life emotes, like your facial expressions into the game. So this is something we've never seen before in a multiplayer MMO type world where your real life actions actually translate into a digital world. My Pet Hooligan is a third person shooter where your in-game character is actually your hooligan NFT. So you use the hooligan to play the game, but you can also stake your hooligan to earn carrot tokens. So there's like this DeFi aspect to the game, which is super interesting. The in-game graphics, the game is built with Unreal Engine 5, so the quality here is just over the top, and I think they're really setting the standard for quality going forward within Web3 gaming. In My Pet Hooligan, we own Litrin and Carrot tokens. So Carrot is a governance token. This will allow us to vote on proposals from the community. And like I said, we just really want to be actively contributing to any ecosystem we're a part of. So we're really happy to have the ability to do so there. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to YGG TV. We love to shed light on some of the operational activities within our organization that you typically wouldn't get to see. So I hope this was interesting to you. If you want to learn more, join our Discord. We're always there answering questions, talking with the community. Thanks for tuning in.
For this month's game spotlight, we've got Big Time, a free-to-play multiplayer action RPG game that combines fast action combat and adventure through time and space. So I personally have been playing this game for a while now, and together with the YGG Guildhouse, shoutouts to Nomad, shoutout to Dan, and the whole team, we are excited for the future of this game. They've only recently started a community tournament where people from all over the metaverse, both OGs in Web2 gaming and also upcoming play-to-earn gamers, come together, form guilds, and hunt for NFTs. So we've been lucky enough to be able to get a chat with the Big Time Guild lead Matthew Thwaites to tell us more about what's going to be happening in the very near future for Big Time. Check this out.
Hey, good morning, John. Thanks for having me on today. So I'm the guild manager. I do a lot of outreach with guilds such as YGG, and then we also do a lot of community events that I tend to be a part of as well. I've been with the big time team about 8 months, and it's been going pretty well over here. So over the last few months, we started the Ruby Pass period of our game, which has been super exciting, bringing in a lot of new players, which has been really awesome to continue to grow and expand the community. I think the last time we chatted on a public forum, we had just launched our Ruby Pass period, which more than doubled the number of players inside the game. We've been waiting for it for a long time, but that was exciting. And we leveled the playing field, added in new content. And if you liked what you saw during Ruby Pass period, you're going to love what we're going to continue to release here all the way up through the global launch of the game. Also, we announced Open Loot, where in partnership with Big Time, we're onboarding more games, high quality games that are trying to bust into the Web3 market. And that's also going to be fun because if you are part of the Open Loop family, look for more things that are as fun or maybe even better than Big Time. Really exciting. We've got some alpha though for the YGG community. So we're doing a tournament here. I think YGG is going to be participating as well. There's going to be a $10,000 prize pool that's on the line here. Follow, check it out. And then we're going to also be giving out some early access passes during that time as well. Next, in the next couple of weeks, maybe within the month, we're looking for some more information to be released on the big time economy, how space works, how upgrading works, all of that crafting. Look for that because I know a lot of people who have been following big time for a long time have been looking and waiting for that information. Cheers. Thanks for having us on.
We've got news and updates of what's happening in the competitive scene in Web3 gaming, brought to us by MetaSports.
Hi everyone, and this is Scrawn or Ron from MetaSports. So today we will be talking about a handful of Web3 games that have started to dive deep into esports. And not just games in particular. There are a lot of guilds that have been restructuring from scholarships into more an esports heavy environment. First, let's talk about Axie Infinity. They just finished their phase 2 of their AxieCon. For the whole qualifier period, there's about like 2,000, 3,000 plus players, all who have participated on the qualifiers, and now we are down to our top 8 of each region. It's divided currently into East and West, and with the East, the number 1 player is currently I'm Cute from Ancient 8, and for West, it's going to be Bestoko from Chosen One's Axie. So these 2 players, along with 14 more, are all flying to AxieCon this September 7 to 10 in Barcelona, Spain. I think it's very interesting to see how this all pans out. It's also a sort of like a love letter, a goodbye to an old friend, which is the Axie Infinity Classic. For those that are not too privy on Classic and are flying into AxieCon, there are 2 on-site Origin events in AxieCon. I believe there's, I think, total 400k being given for tournaments in AxieCon in Barcelona. And speaking of big money for Axie Infinity Origin, there's also MMG, who is all holding a 160k team-based Axie Infinity Origin tournament. And apart from that, there's a big number of weekly tournaments that you can find that are running in Origin. Most of them are actually transition on Origin. You have like FNA from LSL, and you have Blood Moon Cup from Community Gaming. You also have E4E, I think, is still hosting Axie Infinity Origin tournaments, and a handful of more, just to name a few. I think if you pick a day, you'll probably find an Axie Infinity Origin tournament running on a specific day. And now moving forward is EVIO. EVIO, I feel, came in a dark horse. It wasn't really paid attention at first, but now a lot of people are looking at it. From what I know, September is going to be a big month for EVIO. So if you're an EVIO player, stay tuned, follow their socials this September, and you will definitely find a lot of EVIO tournaments being announced that month. As for GFC, they have the ladder enabled, or Galaxy Fight Club rather, They have the ladder enabled, and I think they're running into getting more esports tournament for their game as well. So September is a very heavy month into esports if you're into Web3. So stay tuned for all those two games. And that is it for me here, Ron. Please do follow us in MetaSports. You can find me on MetaSports. You can find me in gaming, or you can follow me on my own social. So you can follow me at @ScrawnXLC. And stay tuned for more Web3 esports recap here on Guild Gaming.
And there you have it. So we hope that all of you guys have learned a lot about what we've been up to for the past month. And to wrap things up, we've got an exclusive YGG feature on the biggest gaming expo, now getting into Web3 and the Metaverse here in the Philippines. This is Conquest 2022. Check it out.
Hey guys, we are here right now at the biggest gaming expo in Manila, Conquest 2022, brought to us by AcadArena. So come and join us as we check out the Metaverse projects who are making a change in Web2 gaming. Let's go.
Hi everyone, Jen here from Blockchain Space. We're here at Conquest. Blockchain Space is a leading data aggregator and infrastructure provider for guilds. We create the base layer upon which people can interact, not just from an engagement point of view, but also monitoring their scholars, monitoring their players. We also provide data analytics, in-game analytics for them to benchmark themselves. We also have products for engagement, certain tournaments that you'd like to host in your own communities. So we're very holistic, wherein we cater to whatever the guilds would need. So we're like your one-stop shop for guilds. Our thesis is that guilds will be the focal point of how people will adopt Web3. So any Web3 projects that wanted to have mass adoption, similar to how it happened in Axie Infinity, in GameFi in particular, guilds facilitated that adoption. So what we're gonna do is provide the infrastructure, the tooling, and the data that these guilds would need in order for them to scale. So we're guild agnostic, we're game agnostic, we cater to everyone in the space, any Web3 project that wanted to have mass adoption.
My name is Joe. I'm one of the founders of MetaSports. We are a esports and gaming content production company. So we think Web3 is very important for the current gaming industry because I think Web3 values are important to be able to give gamers more options related to the continuity and digital property rights. But over time, my team and myself, we truly believe that all the games would decide what integration of ownership with their audiences will be. What MetaSports aims to do in terms of helping build the future metaverse is to really help bridge the gap between traditional gamers or more gamers who aren't familiar with Web3. We come from a long, almost a decade of experience with non-Web3 related gaming, and we think that things like esports and content are the next wave of being able to give an honest and more holistic experience related to gaming.
Hi guys, I'm Trike Gutierrez, the co-founder and CEO of Tier 1 Entertainment.
Hi, I'm Adam Vinluan. I'm a VP Head of Crypto for Tier 1 Entertainment. Tier 1's crypto strategy is very much agnostic. We are here actually to support those projects, and Tier 1 believes on the technology regardless of price point, regardless of whether it's a bear market right now. We believe that when the investment climate gets better, we would be on the forefront of helping support all these crypto projects.
We plan to put up a platform called Alliance, in which is going to be a developmental program for multiple KOLs and influencers in the Web3 space, because that's what Tier 1 does best.
Hey guys, I'm Kevin. I am co-founder of MetaCrafters and I'm heading up the learning platform. MetaCrafters, really in a nutshell, is this magical learning academy where we combine a learning platform and a game world that teaches you how to build on the blockchain. So what makes us unique is we are actually doing this learn and earn program where Pinoys all over the world can learn this very secret skill of blockchain development, smart contract development, and even NFT development here on our platforms. Our sole mission is really to build out the metaverse, and how we do that actually is through building talent pools of people who get educated on our platform. So if you imagine that we're one of the first universities of the metaverse, we want to be able to educate a lot of people to learn the metaverse skills for this new class of jobs. So we are literally building the school for the builders of the metaverse.
I'm Renzo, so I'm a product manager at PDAX.
My name is Meg Ama. I'm head of NFT curation here at PDAX.
PDAX is a cryptocurrency exchange focusing on financial inclusion for Filipinos. Our main mission is really to help educate Filipinos and help them with learning how to trade and what the next best thing is.
And that's not just crypto in the traditional sense, but what we're really excited for this year is how we're going to get involved in the metaverse.
We noticed that a lot of Filipino people really got into this and they started learning about cryptocurrency. We saw that people really started to learn how to trade, how crypto works, how NFTs work.
So in PDAX, what we're really excited for is our utility NFTs. We're looking at partnering with different brands and artists to create these different NFTs that actually make sense in the physical world that matches something in the digital world. Really bridging those two together, that's what excites us at PDAX.
Cool stuff, right? And I mean, the conference in itself was sponsored by the biggest crypto and blockchain projects in the Philippines and in the world. We've got Coinbase, we've got MetaCrafters, we've got Blockchain Space, PDAX, CoinsPH, and the list goes on. And I mean, you know, I can't wait to see how all the other gaming conferences evolve in the very near future. But yeah, I mean, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this to your friends for more videos like this. Once again, my name is John Sedano, Media and Community Marketing for Yield Guild Games, signing off, and I'll be seeing you guys in the metaverse. Peace.